Well, welcome back, BL Trails and Tales. Yeah, we've had quite a week, and I'd like to hear about yours, but I'm going to tell you about mine. uh, Probably like yours, it was full of uh, enjoyment, and it was probably had some failures and some ups and downs in it. Uh, that's kind of life, and that's how we live it. I had an excellent week, the last 10 days or whatever, and at the same time, huge issues and trials in my personal life. But all said, uh, it's just been a glorious week, and I hope yours has been too. I started it out. I'd planned on this going to this um, Warriors at Heart Ministry up in Lake City, Colorado, and I'd had that planned for several weeks. Well, several months, I guess. And like everything that comes along, I mean, if you believe in God and then you believe in the devil, and you believe in God, you believe in angels, and devil, you believe in demons also. And they are. You got demonic forces that are at work. And at this Christian ministry camp that I went to, uh, God was all over those men. I mean, it was an absolute blessing to attend and see. There was baptisms that were done. I can't remember. I think there was 4 or 5 one day, and then another one or two a day after that or whatnot. Some of the camp hosts actually got baptized, and so it was a great spiritual meeting. You met all kinds of people, all walks of life. Uh, Everybody that had issues uh, before proclaiming Christ as their Lord and Savior. They had drug addictions. Several were in jail. There was abuse. There was murder. Uh, it kind of ran the gamut. Whatever you want to do, pornography. Uh, every man was broken in one way or the other, and we all are. And but we were saved through the grace of God, and that's what that camp was about. And it was huge. It was absolutely huge. I mean, you know that I'm going through a divorce, and it's an ugly situation, one that I never wanted to be in. And emotionally, it's been a huge drain on me, uh, stressful, and trying to deal with all those issues, those lies and allegations that come with a divorce, I guess, no matter who you are. If you've been through one of those, man or woman, I'm sure it's the same both ways, but you suffer from it, and it's a difficult situation. And anyway, about the second day, I'd been telling a little bit of my story at lunch and maybe at supper or before, and one of the gentlemen pulled me aside. He says, "We're going to go upstairs and we're going to pray, and I would like you to come up and I'm going to pray for you." And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." So I went up there, and it was a huge blessing in my life. I'd been prayed over before because of my cancer, anointed with oil and stuff, and you know, and I love it all. It's all, it all means a lot to me. But this one, when they prayed over me, I bawled like a baby, uncontrollably, and they prayed. I don't know, the 7 or 8 men, and they all took turns going around in a circle and laying hands on and praying. And when I was done, or when they were done, the shame and guilt I felt from having of going through this divorce and failing in my marriage. I mean, I'm the man, and somehow, men, you're supposed to be able to have control over that, or you think you do. You always want to have control. We fix things, and I wasn't able to fix it, and I wasn't able to control it, and I lost my wife, and I feel a lot of shame and guilt towards that, but that was released to me that day. And the forces that tried to keep me out of that camp were huge. They didn't want me to go there. They didn't want me to receive that kind of blessing. Everything came up. Everything came up in the last couple of days. Well, that I went up on Thursday. That Tuesday, 2 days before, it started I still have a little bit of cough congestion, but it started about 4 or 5 days before then. I kind of had a lung infection, and by Tuesday it was pretty bad, and the temperature went up like 104, and so I started taking some antibiotics, and I started using a machine to try and loosen my chest up, and I went up there Thursday, and I wasn't feeling good at all, but I wasn't going to be kept away. The divorce deal, the attorneys, they wanted all this documentation and all this stuff that I already thought I had done. And so I thought, I'm going to be good to go. I'm going to relax. I'm going to have a very good camp. And all it was one thing after the other with the attorneys. And they wanted all these photos, and then they wanted values and stuff for the divorce. And it's like, yeah. And they needed it Monday. This camp started Thursday and ended Sunday. And so I got to thinking, well, I'm sick. I got all this stuff to do. And then my hay that was scheduled to be cut, hopefully it was supposed to have been cut and done and baled and stacked by Tuesday or Wednesday. Well, it didn't, because life happens, when you're at the mercy of someone that's doing custom work. It's not on your time, it's on their time. So anyway, he couldn't get to it, and was going to get to it on that Friday, and I said, well, that's all well and good, but I'm not going to be here, and as it turns out, that didn't even happen. He got called away, and it didn't happen until I got back. It was Monday, I guess, that finally another neighbor ended up getting it cut and getting it baled. And or maybe that was Sunday, I think, that got done. So I appreciated their efforts. But in saying that, it's like you experience in your life. You have plans to do something that's very fun, or you're going to go on a vacation, or you're going to take your wife to dinner, or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden all this stuff comes up. It's like someone somehow is trying to stop you from enjoying your life and enjoying your wife. And it happens to all of us at this camp. There were other people there that had difficulty getting to the camp. But it was a huge blessing on everybody's life. Most of it revolves around not being divorced or getting a divorce like me, but how to become a better husband. It's based on that book, Call the Wild, Wild at Heart, and Wild at Heart Ministry, and it's very good, and it teaches men to be men and to be better husbands, and it's a huge blessing on a lot of people's lives, and so I really appreciated that. I had a great time despite all the problems. Then I came home and I had all sorts of problems, the hay deal going on, rain coming, and then more demands from attorneys about court, because that's going to happen here in about 6-7 days, I guess. Well, 6 days, next Thursday, and maybe that'll be the end of it. And I hope so. I just hope there's a way to end that. God bless her soul. I just want it to move on. I know it's terrible for me. My cancers came back. I got that news on Tuesday. I needed to take a test. I took the test, and I barely got home before the doctor gave me a call and scheduled me for more tests. They wanted to see just how far it's advanced and what it's done. But look at me, I'm in pretty good shape. I feel good, and I'm going to stay that way as far as I'm concerned. but it is a little concerning that I've been battling cancers for 16 years, I guess, and I've had 5 laser ablations where they go in with a laser and try to destroy the tumor within you, and that's usually successful to everybody, but just, I'm just a special case, so it wasn't successful. And he says, Bruce, finally he said, we can't, I don't know why, but we can't get it done for you. He says, so all right, he says, I got a colleague of mine that's doing a new experimental deal, and it's radiation, which isn't experimental, but it was 45 days of radiation condensed into 5 days, so it was very, very intense. And so I said, being who I am and sucker that I am and guinea pig that I am, I said, yeah, go ahead, let's do that, So we did. They don't really tell you the consequences of that kind of intense radiation and what it can do to your body. And in their defense, they probably didn't know. They knew what the long-term deal is on 45 days, but they didn't know exactly what was going to happen, I suppose. But it had adverse consequences on me, and actually it destroyed the enamel on my teeth. And if you noticed here, within the last year or so, my smile got better from what it was, because I ended up having to go to the cheapest place I could find was in Nevada to get my teeth, they all rotted out. Dental work, they wanted to do like $50,000 worth of crowns and root canals and all this other stuff to try and save it. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, find this, and so it's I got the implants. I got all on 4 upper and all on 4 on the bottom, and let me tell you, that's getting that done is boy, not anything you want to do again. And I'm thankful for it now. I still wished I had my normal teeth and whatnot. Your taste gets affected, how you speak, how you talk. I mean, you still got a mouthful of stuff that you really didn't have, But still, it's good. I feel good. I can eat. I don't have that pain associated with my teeth all the time. So that's a blessing. And so I look at that cancer deal as just an ongoing battle. I get, like anybody, I guess you would get, there's times when you get a little depressed and you think, well, why me? And my goodness, haven't I done this enough, Because after the radiation, then that didn't work. That worked for 4 or 5 years, maybe, I can't remember. And then it spiked again, and they did a cryoablation, so we'll freeze the tumors, and well, that kind of sort of worked. And then, here just recently did that test, and now evidently that's not working either. So I don't know what else they're going to do to me. I'm pretty much kind of done with that. I'm going to OD on some natural remedies, if that's possible, and I'm going to enjoy life, and I'm going to even the news that we've got that disturbs me. I try to watch less of it, but it's just like that shooting they had there at the church. It was a Catholic church where they killed a couple of kids and wounded a bunch of others. That type of stuff is needless. It's horrific. I don't know how you can't say anything about it except that it's evil. And it was done by a transgender person, right? There are no transgender people. There aren't. We've created that. The media, the liberals have created transgender. And don't get me wrong, I know people that are gay. I've got good gay friends. I love them. I think that they love me, and we get along. I don't understand their position or their lifestyle, but I don't have to. I'm not their judge, you know, and that's not for me to decide. Uh, and I think that some of them, uh, I know that they go to church and believe in the Bible, and but they have this one view, and well, I've got views on that. I've got views on other things, and we don't always agree. And I've been in church, and I definitely don't agree with everything that goes on in church. I've been hurt by my church here recently. Uh, Things that were done wrong, allegations that were made, decisions that were made out of basically ignorance when it comes to cattle and rope and deal. But it is what it is, and you just roll with it, because church is made up of people, and people are fallible, and people are sinners, and that's every single one of us. And so it is a great place if you can find one where you agree mostly with the pastor, and your fellowship with the other Christians there are good. You enjoy it. That's a blessing on your life, and you need to do that no matter what. And the thing with the church, and how that they're, you know, there's a tax on them. There's a tax, obviously, on Israel, and if you read the Bible and you study a little bit about the end times, man alive, you know, everybody I guess said we're in the end times, but it is all the signs are there, you know, and the AI is what scares me the most, because it's totally out of control. Just in the news they were talking about, you know, a kid that committed suicide, and he was talking on that chat GTP or whatever it is, and having conversations with that AI platform, and basically it convinced him, I think it was a him, that suicide or taking your life was okay. You know, it would help you, it'd ease your pain and do all this stuff. And it's like, my word, you know, today when so many kids rely on that type of information and rely on technology, and that technology is actually saying things and doing things that would harm people or harm kids. We're doing that in society when we condone the transgender, or we try to legitimize it, you know, having transgender male athletes able to go into women's locker rooms or compete in women's sports. What kind of people are we? I mean, that's disgusting, and there's no way you can justify that. Absolutely no way. You know, the gay people I know wouldn't want to do that. They don't like it, you know. And this transgender deal is like a fad or something, and it will pass, I guess, but it creates so much damage in the meantime. This kid that evidently did that shooting regretted being trans, and regretted ever having that happen. You know, he was confused and didn't like it. And I don't know when he did, or I just quit watching it. But I know that you know, that they give puberty blockers and whatnot to kids that are in grade school, that say, you know, I mean, I'd rather play with dolls than I would trucks, or I want to play with trucks instead of dolls. And so they say, oh yeah, you must be this way, so we'll give you these drugs to help you. And it's like, wow. And even without parents' consent. And so we as a people, we as humanity, we as Americans, and mothers and fathers and parents, grandparents, we've got to stand up to that type of stuff. And I think that we are now, finally, and saying no more. You know, we're not going to let you teach kids that. No, you know, and fire the teachers that do it. Fire the school board administrators that go along with it. Parents, take control, get rid of that stuff. protect your children. Children ought to be able to grow up, tomboy, tomgirl, whatever, you know, and then grow up and then mature into the person that they're supposed to be, and not do it by some kind of surgical procedure or chemical procedure that alters who they really are. That is, who are we? We're not God. We should never be in the position to do anything like that. They need counseling. They need help. We need to get control of the drugs that we administer, all the vaccines and stuff. They have no idea what it's doing to it. But look at the autism rate and stuff that's going on. We didn't have transgender back then. The rate of autism was just a fraction, 50 years ago from what it is now. And what is the difference? About 100 vaccines you get before you leave the hospital. And then if you get into some kind of situation and, I get hit with a volleyball and I start crying and I'm a man, now all of a sudden I just want to be a woman instead, because then I won't have to do this. So, yeah, they'll give you, blockers. They'll do surgery and stuff to change you from who you are. And then, in a couple of years, realization sets in and you go, that was kind of a mistake. I'm really messed up now. So I don't know where all this goes. I got to rambling pretty bad. I didn't want to. I went on a ride. Obviously I got a little bound up with everything that was going on. And I think I'm getting closer to the end of that court deal. And all I know is I trust in God on that. He'll be by my side and the truth will come out. And whatever happens will be His design and His plan. And He has a plan for me. My word, everybody keeps telling me that. Who was it? A friend of mine at the Warriors group, he said, we were talking about church, he said, you need to get your credentials. You need to be a preacher. And it was like, yeah, that's what I need to do, But it's nice to have that kind of support and that kind of, the people that think that highly of you, think of you as a Christian and a godly man, a man that is honest. And when it comes to that, I've written songs about it. You can check them out on the playlist. Wrote one about the cancer here just recently. It helps me. It's my therapy, I guess, in order to do that. And it's also an insight into me, and hopefully an instruction for my kids and grandkids. So I really give thanks for you guys watching this video. I hope it means something to you. Leave me a comment. If there's something we could talk about, something you want to do that. There's the subscribe or the follow me or the next video or something, playlist, whatever. I'd appreciate any support you can give me if you enjoy this type of thing. And we're going to keep doing podcasts, but we're going to do a whole lot more trails also. So I look forward to doing that and seeing what God has in store for me. So I just hope that you'll stay with me long enough and enjoy it. Talk to you later.